Everyone, this is Andrew with Clutch Kick. I'm over here in Bellevue, Washington. I just drove over from Spokane, Washington yesterday in my Niro EV. We are here to test the Lectron Level 2 Tesla to J1772 adapter. Now they make two of these. This is the 80 amp, 250 volt. They also make a 48 amp version. This one retails for about $170. Typically you can find sales, brings it down to about $150. And then I believe the 48 amp one is typically in the $120 price range. Sales might drop it a few bucks there. But if you may recall, recently Lectron sent us their NACS adapter for the Tesla superchargers, so their DC adapter. That one worked flawlessly. We're really curious to see how their level 2 adapter works. I'm here in Lewis's garage. He's got a Model 3. And he uses a Tesla mobile connector. So it's a 240 volt, and I believe his is 32 amps. So we won't be able to test the full 80 amp here, but we'll definitely see if how it works and the compatibility here with my J1772 plug.
Hey guys, before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to take this time to thank you so much for watching our videos. It really means the world to us. This is not our full-time job. This is totally something that we do for fun, and we just really appreciate you being here. Just hope that the videos that we put out may have helped you in some way in your car buying process or in just your journey of exploring, of being a car enthusiast. We've been asked several times by people how they can support us, and so if you feel inclined to do so, we have a Fandid, and I will leave the link for that here. And it's just a great way for you to be able to support us financially if you're inclined to do so. If you've ever found our videos to be helpful at all, if you ever needed advice from us, it's a great way to give back and help support this channel. We've actually turned off monetization for all of our videos, and this is something we've actually done from the beginning. And so you may have noticed when you hop into one of our videos, there's no ad, and if there is an ad, that's actually for copyright reasons, and the ad revenue for that goes towards the artist of a song that we've used in that specific video. And so yeah, if you ever want to support us, this is going to be the best way to do it. But without further ado, let's get back to the video.
Now, one thing to note, for the majority of EVs, the 80 amp adapter is probably going to be excessive. The 48 amp is probably the sweet spot for most people. So before we unbox this thing here, let's look at the box. There's a couple interesting things here. When using Tesla destination chargers, obviously you have to ensure output's less than 80 amp, but you have to allow 30 seconds to pass after connecting the adapter to the Tesla charger before connecting the other end to your car. So that's kind of curious. I don't know what happens if you just plug it in, but because it tells me, to wait 30 seconds, I think we're going to do that. We'll give it the full 30 seconds and then plug it in, see if we have any issues there. Obviously, this is not compatible with superchargers. This is just the level 2. So it's just the J1772 there. But it is compatible with Tesla wall connectors, destination chargers, and mobile connector. Today we'll be testing it with a mobile connector. So let's get into this box here. Looks like we've got a nice little drawstring bag. That's kind of fancy. Wasn't expecting that. And then inside this bag here, we've got the actual adapter. Feels very sturdy. We've got a latch, and hopefully it should lock into my car with the J1772. And then it looks like we've got a latch to release on the Tesla, the NACS portion. Now, one thing to mention about that, which is interesting, so I know Lewis has a Tesla to J1772 adapter, so his goes the other way. And a lot of complaints from Tesla owners is that it doesn't lock into their car. So if they're public charging on a J1772, someone can just come and pull it right out of their car. We're going to test to make sure it locks on both sides, but if it does, that'll be great, because then no one's coming to unplug your car while you're charging. Looks like the only other thing in here is just a little card here, extended warranty card, and then looks like they do Electron Care. So this is kind of like their Apple Care extended warranty service here. Not sure how necessary it is on a level 2 adapter, but good to know that they offer that. This is the OEM Tesla mobile connector. Again, this is 32 amps. So the box did say plug this in here for 30 seconds before plugging it into the car. So I'm just gonna press the lever down here, plug this in. That latches quite nicely. It's snug. I don't know if it'll lock, but we'll find out. And then while we're waiting 30 seconds, I'm just going to walk this over to the car here. Open my charge door. So we're just using the top portion here today, just the J1772 portion. I think it's probably been about 30 seconds. It's kind of silly if you actually have to wait the full 30 seconds. So what we might do is, after we run this test, I might just test it. What happens when you just plug it in immediately on both ends, see what happens. Hopefully we don't blow up the car. All right, I think we're good. That's been 30 seconds. Nice secure latch there. We'll see if the car starts charging. Just thinking about it. My car's got voice prompts, so I should talk. Still thinking about it. That's interesting. Most level 2, as soon as I plug in, it starts charging immediately. So we definitely have a little bit of a delay here. Let's go inside the car and see what's going on here, because I'm not hearing it charge. The light's not blinking, but maybe it just doesn't talk because it's using an adapter. So it tells that we're plugged in, but currently does not look like we have any charging happening. Let's go over here to the EV screen and see. Unplug vehicle to start. So again, it knows we're plugged in, but nothing. That's odd. Okay, well, let's troubleshoot. Let's unplug everything here. We'll bring it over. All right, we're going to time it for the full 30 seconds. Now, one thing that's interesting, it looks like we no longer have power here. It's blinking red on the mobile connector. Lewis, what do you think? Do we need to?
I would unplug the two from the wall.
Let's unplug this from the wall, and we'll just start fresh here. Okay, mobile connector's in. We're lit up green there. It did say plug this in first, so I'm going to time it. Here we go, and plug it in. We're going to give it the full 30 seconds here. We'll speed this up for you guys. Moment of truth.
It started.
It worked. So they were not kidding. When they say 30 seconds, you've got to wait the full 30 seconds. That's really surprising because I just kind of guesstimated and we must have been like at 25 seconds or something there. What I think we're going to do is we're just going to run one more test here because I want to make sure, you know, that this is reliable and duplicatable. So we'll unplug everything and we'll run it one more time. But before we do that, let's just make sure we're getting the charge speeds. Go ahead and let's get the camera in on the screen there. So we are pulling 7.4 kilowatts. Again, my car maxes out at 11 kilowatts. Now this is only a 32 amp charger, so that's correct. All right, we're gonna test it again. I wanna make sure we can actually get this to repeat. So we'll do another full 30 seconds. Green on the wall plug here, plugging this in. 30 seconds starting now. So this is the one little inconvenient part about this. You know, with level 2 charging, you're typically at a destination, a hotel, a house, somewhere where you just want to plug in, leave the car for the night and be fully charged. You don't necessarily want to be sitting here waiting for 30 seconds before you can even plug the adapter into the car. So one little mark against them for this, but that might just be a technical thing. You know, this might be the only way these adapters work.
I think the Tesla chargers are actually just too clever. They have like a lot of sensors in them, and there's probably some handshaking going on that it has to kind of communicate.
Charging started.
There it is.
Okay, so that worked again.
Because I know that, for example, I had a outlet that wasn't working correctly. It was like overheating or something, and the charger knew, and it would communicate to the car to tell me on the app. So I think just Tesla connectors, whether it's like a mobile connector or like the destination chargers, those wall connectors that are hardwired, I think they're just a little bit, there's a lot more information going backward and forward.
Than a standard like Amazon, you know, level 2 charger, like the one I use at home.
Exactly.
Interesting. Now, so two last things we're going to test here. I want to check to see which parts of this adapter and plug lock. So I'm going to go ahead and lock my car, which I have set to lock the charger. Now, if I go to unplug it here from the car, that's locked, as it should be. Now, is the Tesla NACS portion locked? No.
Charging started.
So, again, it's just like using a Tesla NACS, a J1772 adapter. The NACS part doesn't lock. I think, and Lewis, you might have to correct me if I'm wrong, but there must be a special mechanism unique to this plug on the car side.
Yeah, so on the bottom right there, that's where it locks on the car.
So because this is just a physical analog thing here, this does not have a digital control, so this doesn't lock. My car locks into the J1772. So that's controlled by the car, but only on this end will not lock. So unfortunately, someone could come in and unplug you.
So similar idea to when I'm using a J1772 to Tesla.
Similar with the Tesla, yeah.
So I have to buy a little ring to basically lock it.
Something to keep in mind. I don't think you're going to be able to buy something to lock this in place. Maybe, I don't know. It's this button here.
No,
so.
but it's also mostly unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think people are pretty respectful of that on the most.
And if you're level 2 charging, you're not at a DC charger where people are trying to get on the road and get back, you know, to their journey. So realistically, you're probably not going to have anyone come and unplug you. Last thing we're going to do is we're just going to leave this car plugged in. It's at 30% now. We'll give it the full 5 or 6 hours and see, at the end of the charge, if it was able to fully charge to 100%, if there were any issues. You just want to make sure that, we can actually fully charge the battery with one of these. And if it passes that mark, I'd say this is a recommended piece of kit, especially if you, want to have the full ecosystem. If you want to be able to level 2 charge and NACS DC charge. All right, so it's been about 7 hours since we first plugged in. As you saw, it's now fully charged. So the adapter did its job. It got us fully charged here on a Tesla Level 2. It's a little warm, actually, but not terribly. It's actually most warm up here on the J1772 portion. The Tesla portion is actually quite cool to the touch. So I think the takeaway here is I would recommend this adapter if you have NACS charging at work or a destination charging. So like, let's say your hotel or Airbnb you're going to has a Tesla charger and you've got a J1772 vehicle, this makes sense. What I would not recommend this for, let's say you're a 2 EV household. Let's say one of your EVs is a CCS J1772 and your other one is NACS, and you can only have one charger and you want to use an adapter with it. I would actually make sure you have a J1772 charger and then use the J1772 to Tesla adapter with your other vehicle versus getting a Tesla charger and using this adapter, solely because that 30-second wait is kind of annoying and frustrating. And if you're plugging in every night for your second vehicle, you really don't want to have to time 30 seconds before plugging in. But I think, if you're using this on occasion at a destination as it's intended to be used, this is fine. The 30 seconds is okay. You can live with it. Does the job quite nicely. Just one other thing of note, it's not going to lock the cable in as we discussed. So something to be aware of there. But yeah, Lectron seems to be really making some high quality charging equipment and we're really impressed by it. So would recommend, but wouldn't recommend it to use at home for a 2-car solution. I think you want to go the other way there.